2-4-4.
They're off in the first here at Canterbury. From the inside, My Court Jewel slow to go. And She Sizzles won the start and leads about a length and a half on, going up very quickly on the inside into second, Posse St. Georgina. Third is Steal My Love, and Lady Mulan is going very quickly into second berth now from Margot Bell. And then comes Pokey Hill, Lisbeth a conspicuous second last, and a further 3 lengths to My Court Jewel. 750 to go, and Lady Mulan on the outside goes to the lead. She's about a neck on She Sizzles. A length and 3/4 to Steal My Love, followed by St. Georgina, and then comes Pokey Hill, followed by Margot Bell. Lisbeth tacking onto the main division, and about a length and 3/4 to My Court Jewel as they race their way down the side of the Canterbury Park course and approach the 400. She Sizzles the inside, and the hot pot Lady Mulan. They're matching strides, a length on Steal My Love, pulling around the heels of the 2 leaders as Lady Mulan goes to the lead on straightening up. And at the 250, Lady Mulan about a length and a half clear. Die shaking her up. She Sizzles second. Steal My Love not running on, followed by Pokey Hill and Lisbeth getting a split. It's Lady Mulan, 75 to go in front of Lisbeth. Steal My Love again getting a kick late, but down to the line goes Lady Mulan to win it. Lady Mulan from a close finish. Steal My Love and Lisbeth from St. Georgina, Margot Bell, Pokey Hill, She Sizzles, and My Court Jewel last all the way.
1 Lady Mulan, 150 and 1 even. 7 Lisbeth to return, $5.90 for Steal My Love, $1.60.
Showing at money back, but $1.04 will be the likely placed dividend, but it is a very close go for the second and third issues here. Steal My Love again got her second win in the last little bit, and Lisbeth, who got through nearer to the inside, could go either way for second and third. Probably Lisbeth might have just held for second. Yes, it has. Number 7 and number 4 is third, and that is Steal My Love. Lady Mulan's by Big Stone from Zafra, trained by Bob Thompson for Mrs. S and Mr. Viva Lianto, Mrs. D and Mr. I Hartono, and H and Mrs. A Wee. And Lady Mulan having her 7th start, win 2. She's had 2 seconds. She's run 1:11.41 here. 36.28 was the sectional. The record, the race record, is 1:10.85, and she's gone 1:11.41, so it's been a good gallop. 1, 7 and 4.
The third.
We're calling this one off the TV monitor for much of the race. Light breeze, and they're off and racing in the first on the card. Sir Richie over towards the outside was one of the first to bounce out, and Regal Royal also out there got away well. Past Master got into a little trouble as they settled into stride now. It looks like Sir Richie with on the inside of it there, Sheridan going up to assume the front runner's role as they jump the next hurdle. Kima Ray's third from Ocean Bird, King Lap on the rail. Then Regal Royal and Nectar Montan, a length to Jonesy's Flyer. A length and a half further back in the field, then Brush with Fame, who's over on the inside. With it, Noble Colony, 3 lengths to the arm, who's got a good way back, followed by Process. And Past Master was last of all at the turn the first time, and Sheridan the leader. Sir Richie is running second, about a length away on the outside. King Lap is in behind them, third on the rail from Ocean Bird as they leap this, and then Kima Ray the centre from Montant on the rails. Then Jonesy's Fly. Noble Colony is out wide and improving as they came down the straight the first time. Regal Royal well back with Brush with Fame as they leap this hurdle in front of the stands. Brush with Fame dipped and went down. Brush with Fame is out of the race. Getting into a bit of trouble there too was the arm who had to go around that fallen horse. The jockey's to his feet looks to be okay as they negotiate the turn out of the straight. Well back in the field there is Process, and last of all is Past Master as they jump the next hurdle in the race now. Field stringing out a little. It's Richie on the outside, about a neck in front of Sheridan with the rail. 2 lengths away, third Noble Colony. King Lap having a good run, fourth on the inside. A length and a half to Montant, about 6th over on the inside of Ocean Bird at the next hurdle. They're trailed by Jonesy's Fly, the grey Kima Ray on the rail. Montant looked to get into a bit of trouble there. He ran out abruptly. Regal Royal is going wide, and in behind those horses as they go to the next jump then is the arm from Process, and a long break in the field of Past Master. He's struggling to keep up with them. It's Sir Richard the leader from Sheridan. There's Regal Royal moving around the outside to get into third, placing deeper out as they go along the back of the course here. Just behind those horses looks to be Noble Colony, fourth on the inside, and then King Lap getting away from the rail from Jonesy's Flyer as they came up the side and go past the 1,000-metre mark. It's Richie in front of Sheridan. Regal Royal is third. Noble Colony just in behind them in fourth placing, followed by King Lap. Then Jonesy's Flyer, the arm is starting a run. Process taking off right around the outside. Then Ocean Bird, Kima Ray well back. Montan struggling. The arm, something's gone amiss with him. I think it's the arm. I think he's going to be pulled out of the race. Up the side at the 600, Sir Richie over it in front of Sheridan and Kinglap. Noble Colony on the fence, fourth. Regal Royal not responding to hard riding. Then Jonesy's Flyer in a gap behind those to Kima Ray as they neared the corner from Ocean Bird. But it's Sir Richie the leader. Sheridan is second. Kinglap running on the outside, and then Noble Colony as they corner clear of Regal Royal. Well on the straight now, Sir Richie the leader. One to jump. Sir Richie down on the inside from Sheridan, Kinglap, Noble Colony. At the last, and Sir Richie scrambled over it. Lands by about a length and a half. Sheridan and Kinglap grinding home well. Kinglap coming with his run after Sir Richie. Sir Richie from Kinglap, and they get to the 100-metre mark. It's Sir Richie about a neck in front of Kinglap and Sheridan. Sir Richie hold on, and Sir Richie wanted to head to Kinglap. A length and a half to Sheridan third, then Noble Colony, Regal Royal, Jonesy's Flyer, Ocean Bird followed by Passmaster Kima Ray. Back behind them are Montand, and back there with it was Process. The arm has been pulled out of the race. He's cantering down the straight now, and Brush with Fame fell early in the piece about a lap from home.
Gee, that's a shocker, isn't it, that rain and wind. And Sir Richie, $16.420, Kinglap $2.30, and Sheridan $4 after the first at Caulfield. Now, moving in at the Gold Coast. The favourite Don't Miss, $3.50. Born Bright at $4.70, $6.10 another.
Win from the inside a little slowly away, and High Rolling is the early leader, about a length and a quarter on Transfer. On the inside of Transfer, Strings. Going up very quickly now is Capital C. It's looking for the lead, and at the end of 250, Capital C, one of the roughies, goes to the front now and opens up nearly 2 lengths on High Rolling. A similar margin, third is Transfer, inclined to over race. 3/4 back on the inside is Strings, a length and a half Jabali, and a half length the Sino Win as they head along towards the 600 marker. And the leader is Capital C, 3/4 of a length to a length on High Rolling, a couple to Transfer, Strings on its inside, and 2 further back Jabali around Sino Win. No change in the order as they come along the side, the half dozen racing in pairs, and Capital C a length on High Rolling, a couple to Transfer. On the inside is Strings, momentarily strung up, and the last pair of Jabali and Sino Win as they come into the home straight, and the leader Capital C on sufferance, and quickly High Rolling got the better of it. Strings is taking a while to get to this leader High Rolling. Transfer in second, Posse, but High Rolling in full flight for little Brian Carter. Transfer second, and then Strings, but High Rolling under his big weight, 60 kgs, wins well. He shifted his ground a bit in the last 50, but too good High Rolling, and scored nicely from Transfer and Strings from Jabali, Sino Win and Capital C.
Number 1, High Rolling to return $3.20 and $1.90 for Transfer, a place dividend of $2.90 and 2 Strings no third.
Number 1, High Rolling, continuing young Brian Carter's great run of success, $2.90 and $1.70. He's had an inclination to shift his ground a bit in the last 50-odd metres, but he was too good. No numbers up. Number 1, High Rolling will be the winner. There they go now. Number 4, Transfer, Darren Beatman second, and it's paid $2.80, and there was no third tote for number 2, Strings. Quinella, $8.70, Exact is $16.50, and the trifecta, $27.10. The winner, High Rolling, is by Snippets from Woman of Valour, bred by C&R Thurecht, Proprietary Limited, Ron Thurecht. It is raced by Ms. Dames V.L. Smith and the GM Waterhouse in partnership with S. Fisman, N.H. Gamble and A.B. Jones. Gay Waterhouse, the trainer, Brian Carter, the winning rider. So congratulations to all the owners there, and Neil Gamble, of course, well known in business circles, and Al Jones, of course, the TUE Brekkie man, Stan Fisman, and, of course, Guy and her mum, Val. And they've got a lovely horse here in High Rolling. 3/4 of a length, the winning margin. 1 3/4 second and third. 1:11.17. Sectionally 34.93, and the fourth went to number 3. He was too good. Brian Carter on the crest of a wave as we check the official totes. And Strings disappointed. The winner, High Rolling, number 1, $2.90, $1.70. Number 4, second, Transfer, paid $2.80. No third for 2 Strings. Quinella, $8.70, $16.50 Exacta, and $27.10 trifecta, following race 2 at Canterbury.
On parade 150.
Eagle all missed the start pretty badly here. Peggy O'Lean and Cosset came out running out wide and away quickly as Vladivostok, and Weekend Surprise pushing up on the inside. Good charge for the front. Weekend Surprise led Vladivostok. 3/4 further back Cosset. 2.5 Peggy Eileen, followed by King Island. Tully Dolce the inside, 2 or 3 to Mr. Gold Flyer. 1.5 split the wind. A fairway back Van Taggio with on the outside of it Gilly Street. 4 then to Desert Eagle. 3 last of all relevance. Up to the bend they race, and Cosset's caught 3 deep around Vladivostok, who's hanging over on the fences. Weekend Surprise, 4 lengths Tully Dolce. King Island running on fairly, and then Peggy Eileen in the straight. Weekend Surprise on the fence about a half length Vladivostok. Cosset is hanging right off the track, heading right to the outside rail. They're clear of King Island, but over on the inside, Weekend Surprise in front. Cosset finishes on the outside fence. Vladivostok after the leader, but Weekend Surprise in front near the line, and Weekend Surprise 3/4 on the line to Vladivostok. King Island third. Mr. Gold Flyer came home well for fourth. Then Relevance pulled a ton of ground. Cosset finished on the outside rail from Peggy Aileen, a gap in the race into Split the Wind. Tully Dolce from Van Taggio. Further back Desert Eagle, and last of all is would have been Gilly Street.
286 Kembler, Caulfield, 10 Weekend Surprise, 450, 170, 8 Vladivostok, 480, 9 King Island, $1.80.
10 Weekend Surprise to pay 410 190, 8 Vladivostok 470 and 9 King Island $1.70. More from Melbourne shortly after the running of race number 2. In the third there today, Brian likes 3 Quixia from 2 Speedway Girl and 1 Mighty Fine 321, and the late mail in the third is for 3 Quixia. 10.89 on the second there, Weekend Surprise. The winner at Caulfield in the Star Shower Super Vobis Handicap. We're about to get New South Wales dividends there after race number 2 at Caulfield today.
And Caulfield race 2 on 10, 8 and 9.
Marshall for Alan Depp. And the field is off and running, and that was a great start too. Falsham Street was away well, but they're pushing up inside him. Gamesman going fast, and so too Cyclonic Light. And as they settle, Daneful's right there. Winterlode's in the firing line, and not far away is Karingai Chase as they settle, and it's Gamesman joined and headed by Falsham Street. Winterlode third and travelling fourth, Cyclonic Light. Fifth on the inside is Daneful. Then Karingai Chase, Theodore, Restless and Sporting Scribe is last. So the 3 favourites are third last, second last and last respectively, coming onto the 600, and Falsham Street a clear leader now. 2 Gamesmen, third Winterlode, a bit more than a length Karingai Chase around Cyclonic Light, and Daneful followed by Theodore and Restless. They're making their run simultaneously, and Sporting Scribe is last as they jam up coming to the home corner, and Falsham Street is the leader by a length or so on Gamesman. Cyclonic Light followed by Restless and Theodore, and then Karingai Chase and Sporting Scribe. Restless out after Gamesman. Theodore Marshall's had to go for the whip, and Daneful running a great race. On the inside, Gamesman, Daneful, Restless and Theodore. In the meantime, Daneful grabbed the lead, and it's Daneful. Daneful from Restless and Theodore, followed by Gamesman on the outside, Sporting Scribe. A long, long gap to Karingai Chase, Cyclonic Light, and the last 2 were Falsham Street and Winterlode.
For Daneful, 13.50, 2.90, 2 Restless 1.50, 1 Theodore 1.10.
That was particularly over the last 200. And number 4, Daneful, having only its second start, ridden by Darren Beatman for Guy Walter and Nick Moratis, has been able to score here, and on the tote will pay 15.40 and 3.20. Number 2, Restless, $1.60. Number 1, Theodore, $1.20. Numbers official, 421, Quinella, 33.50, Exacta, 75.70, the trifecta, $189.30. He's by Dane Wynn, Daneful. Gee, he's making a good fist of it as a stallion, isn't he, the former top racehorse Dane Wynn. And Moon Circle is the mum of Daneful, who was bred by the Emirates Park Proprietary Limited. And as I say, raced by Nick Moratis, trained for him by Guy Walter and Darren Beatman, the winning rider. Number 2 is second, Restless, ridden by Dan Beasley. And number 1, Theodore, third, ridden by John Marshall. 3, Sporting Scribe, the official fourth. A half neck, a neck, 111.16. A half neck, a neck, 111.16. And sectionally, it was 36.58. Yeah, well, he had his chance, Theodore. Maybe the 57.5 told on him in the last 100 metres. Restless battled on, but Daneful's run was very, very good. And I did like Sporting Scribe. He's a horse by Runyon, and when the races step up a little from the 1,200 metres, I think we're going to find a pretty nice horse here with Sporting Scribe. Here are totes confirmed. Disdainful, number 4, 1540 and 320, number 2, Restless 160, number 1, Theodore 120, 33.50 Quinella, 75.70 Exacta, and $189.30 was the trifecta dividend. The margins are half neck by a neck, repeating 111.16, 36.58, following race 2 at race 3 here, the Pace Farm Handicap.
In the middle, Mighty Fine away fast to the inside with Speedway Girl, and getting back after the start, Dorrington Lass. When they settled down and Crixia quickly took it up in front, and Crixia went out a length and a half in front. Camus went up second, 2 to Speedway Girl from Mighty Fine, 1 Waikiki Princess, Cat's Cradle. Further back in the race, then Rose of Georgia over on the inside, followed by Stage Princess. Well out of it coming down the side is Pickaboo, and last of all is Dorrington Lass. They're strung right out, and Crixia in control by 2.5 lengths in second place in KMS, a length into Speedway Girl. Mighty Fine is fourth. They've got 2.5 in front of Waikiki Princess, Cat's Cradle. 3 further back, Rose of Georgia, followed on the outside by Pickaboo. Then Dorrington Lass, and 3 last of all, Stage Princess. But Crixia straightens up with a good break under a fair hold. 2.5 to 3 to KMS. At the 300-metre mark, 2 to Speedway Girl, Mighty Fine, Waikiki Princess, and then Cat's Cradle. He gave this a slap down the neck. The leader, Crixia, at the 150-metre mark. She's still 2.5 in front. KMS pulling no ground. Crixia kept going. She's too good, too fast. And Crixia down to the line, 2.5 to KMS. 2 away third, a good run from the back here. Running on very well, Dorrington Lass from Cat's Cradle fourth, from Waikiki Princess, Mighty Fine, Speedway Girl, a gap, Stage Princess, Pickaboo, and Rose of Georgia.
3 Crixia, 250, 130, 4 KMS, 280, 8 Dorrington Lass, 280.
3 Crixia to pay $2.50, 140, 4 KMS, $2.70, and 8 Dorrington Lass, $2.30. National Racing Service Brisbane, 2 3/4. The winning margin, 19.6 was the time there in Brisbane on the previous. 348 over the line there at Caulfield in the third.
In $50 and $2. Very, very well backed in the bookies ring. And they're off and racing, and Marginui was very well away and is up looking for the lead with a swarm of horses, including Lord Sedona, Blazing Flight, and Our Midnight Star, and circling Blazing Flight from Lord Sedona, Our Midnight Star between them, then Marginui, followed by Torlina Alazari. Jabberwocky, High Typhoon is rushing right around them from Sandy Prospect. Humoron, Dillon, and last of all is Grumpy with 7.50 left to travel. And here the leader is Blazing Flight from Lord Sedona. High Typhoon going up to make a line of 3. Our Midnight Star fourth, and then comes Torlina. Marginui tightened up a little on the inside. Then Jabberwocky, Alazari, followed by Sandy Prospect, Dillon, Humoron, and last of all is Grumpy, a compact lot, 400 to go. Old Blazing Flight, very sprightly, leads a half length, Lord Sedona. A half and 3 deep is High Typhoon from Our Midnight Star, tracking these 3 leaders. And then comes Torlina, and now over on the inside, Marginui is getting a dream run through, and Dillon is coming right down the outer. High Typhoon grabbed by Dillon and Marginui. Dillon, Marginui. It's Marginui and Dillon fighting it out. Dillon does best, I think, but Marginui kicked right on the line, and by golly, it's close between them. Let the judge work it out. From High Typhoon in third spot, and then Blazing Flight followed on the outside by Torlina, and then Grumpy. Humoron further back, Our Midnight Star, Sandy Prospect, Jabberwocky, Lord Sedona, and Alazari last to complete the course.
Close go between 2 Dillon at 4.90 and 2 even, 5 Marginui, 3.40, 150, and 6 for third, High Typhoon, 2.40.
Dream run up on the inside, and Dillon came right down the outside. Dillon put his nose in front, getting close to the line, but then Marginui is kicked right on the peg. And from where I stand, it might be Marginui. Yep, it is. Number 5, Marginui, ridden by Michael Squires, has arrived in time. Number 5 is the winner, Marginui, ridden by Michael Squires. Wasn't going to win till right on the post. Number 2, Dillon, second, ridden by Brian Carter. And a High Typhoon, number 6, ridden by John Marshall in the third spot. 5, 2 and 6. The winner on the tote in New South Wales, 3.30 and 160. Very heavily back. Number 2, Dillon, paid 2.10. And number 6, High Typhoon, 2.60. The Quinella, 12.30. Exacta, 21.90. Trifecta, 157.80. The 4 and 5 extra double, $154.70. The
away favourably, showing good pace now. Mystery Boy with Pop Top Bale. Rhythmic Tom's going.
The others have come out in a fair line. As expected, Instant has bounced straight to the front here. And led now settling down from Palace Alice, and Oregon Seal is up close today. A length and a half aerobics over on the outside of it, Annie's Girl. Dan Arca, Whoopie Ride and Viennetta last of all. Up to the 1400 metre mark. Instant trying to be restrained by the rider. It's over racing, but it's out 3 lengths in front of Palace Alice. A length and a half Oregon Seal third. A neck fourth aerobics, 2.5 Annie's Girl, 3/4 Dan Arca, a half Whoopie Ride, 1 last of all Viennetta. Instant going at a good clip in front and alone in the lead by about 4.5 lengths, and still inclined to pull out in the lead. It's Instant about 4.5 to 5 in front of Palace Alice and Oregon Seal. 1 further back aerobics fourth, a length and a half, then 2 on the outside Annie's Girl. Whoopie Ride 3 out at the 850 metre mark, 2 to Dan Arca and 2 last of all Viennetta. Coming down to the 700 metre mark, and Instant by 4 or 5 lengths Palace Alice. 3/4 then Oregon Seal, 3 deep on the outside fourth Whoopie Ride. 1 Dan Arca followed by aerobics, and further back in the race the outside Annie's Girl and Viennetta last of all. Instant comes to the turn, a good 4 lengths in front of Palace Alice. Oregon Seal outside it, then Whoopie Ride, but it's under the whip fourth. Straightening up an Instant, led by 3 around the home turn. From Palace Alice, Oregon Seal, there's no change in the order at the moment. Instant goes to the 300 metre mark, 2 in front of Palace Alice. Oregon Seal down the middle, starting to lengthen now, and it's coming very quickly. Oregon Seal got Instant in a couple of bounds. Then the outside Whoopie Ride from Palace Alice. Further back Viennetta, but Oregon Seal takes it clearly now with about 100 to go from Instant and Whoopie Ride and Oregon Seal. Plain Jane, but she wins by a length and a half. Instant, 3/4 third Whoopie Ride. Then Viennetta, Dan Arca followed for the back by aerobics. Palace Alice dropped right off in the last 300, and 4 lengths last of all Annie's Girl.
9 Oregon Seal, 180, 104, 6 Instant, 140, 8 Whoopie Ride, 260.
9 Oregon Seal to return 190, 120, 6 Instant, 148 Whoopie Ride, $2.30. 968 there, the fourth on the program at Caulfield.
4 lengths most of the way here, Instant, but then we had Palace Alice and Oregon Seal sitting right outside it. So he had it close enough in the straight. This 3-year-old filly taking on the older horses. He picked up pretty well at the 300 when he let her down.
And the totes, 9 Oregon Seal, 180, 104, 6 Instant, 140, 8 Whoopie Ride, $2.60. Quadrello 320, Exacta $4.90. The 968 trifecta is $33.20. In race 5...
OK, in the fifth, we'll open up that shortly. Let's get back to Kel to wrap up the greyhounds.
Yes, thanks, Paul. All clear race 3 on 4, 5 and 7. 18-14 was the time, 2 by 1 1/4. And
This is the fifth. Once again, here's Terry McAuliffe.
They start down by the 200 metre mark. There's the light. Daybreak Treat fractious. Just dancing about. They're racing. He half missed the start. Daybreak Treat. Mayshield wouldn't go early, the import, the favourite. He stood there and missed the start, probably 4 or 5 lengths. Saluted one of the best to begin with Collins Street. Mr. Nelson going forward with Alpha Warrior. Then Defence Force around Rackets. Bellata back on the inside. Daybreak Treat was next from Kublai Khan, and a bit of a sensation early. The favourite May Shell, he must be 4 lengths away last of all after being very, very slow to leave the gates. They turn out of the home straight on the first occasion, and the grey Saluted rolled to the top here for young Lorenzini. Takes them over the crossing at the 2,000, leading by a couple. Galfie took Alpha Warrior to second. Gauchi took Alpha Warrior to second. Collins Street third on the inside. And it's outside Defence Force, a length and a half to Mr. Nelson. He's racing 5th on the inside of Rackets. Bellata was next, then Daybreak Treat. Mayshell's now tacked up, and last of all on his outside was Kublai Khan. So they're in the back part of the straight now as they move down East Terrace side of Victoria Park at the 1800. And now Preble's going to take Defence Force to the lead. So Defence Force takes over in the Testarossa colours. Leads by a length and a half, 2 Saluted on the inside of Alpha Warrior. A length and a half to Collins Street. He settled well 4th, and he's much closer than he would normally be in most of his races. Mr. Nelson next on the inside of Rackets. A length and a half to Bellata. Then Daybreak Treat, May Shell, and about 2.5 to Kublai Khan last of all. They've got 1,400 metres to travel, and Defence Force leading by a length. Alpha Warrior second on the outside. Saluted third back on the inside, the grey. 2 to Collins Street. Mr. Nelson going through on his inside. A length and a half to Rackets. Then Bellata next the inside from Daybreak Treat. Mayshill still well back. He's second last. And a length to Kublai Khan last of all. They now work onto the side of the track and head down towards the 1,000 metre mark. It's Defence Force leading by a bit over a length to Alpha Warrior second the outside. A length and a half away then Saluted third on the inside of Collins Street. He's travelled well. So has Mr. Nelson fifth. A length and a half further back then to Bellarta. Daybreak Treat was next with Rackets. Mayshield still a long way back, and Kublai Khan last of all. They move up towards the home turn in the Ansett St Ledger. They've got about 700 metres to run, and Defence Force nearly joined in front now by Alpha Warrior. Saluted third back on the inside. Collins Street coming to the outside with Mr Nelson. King now getting out on Mayshield. Then Bellarta. Wider out on the track. Daybreak Treat with Kublai Khan, and Rackets was last at the 400. Defence Force led. Mr Nelson coming after it. Mayshield deeper out. Then Collins Street struggling. Mr Nelson moved up to Defence Force. Two to Mayshield. Then Bellarta. It's on the inside. Defence Force grabbed now by Mr Nelson. Bowditch, Hands and Hills. The South Aussie 3-year-old drew a length in front. He's got the St Ledger one. He's coming away from Defence Force. Then Mayshield and Mr Nelson. Oh, he would have been maybe a real chance in the cup on that. He wins by 2. Defence Force second, Mayshield third, and Bellarta fourth. They were well clear of the others. 3 or 4 lengths away then to Collins Street. Looked like he had every chance. He was the next to finish with the grey saluted on his inside. Further back in the field then to Rackets with behind it Alpha Warrior. Then Daybreak Treat and Kublai Khan, one of the last to pull up. Mr Nelson has cleared away. Number 10, Mr Nelson, for a big win here in the St Ledger. And basically under his own steam. Hands and Hills from Bowditch. He is a horse that doesn't really like the whip anyway. He has proven in his recent starts he is a little bit thin-skinned in some particular areas. Bowditch reluctant to go for the whip. Tried to ride Hands and Hills for as long as possible. And he has worn down Defence Force and broken clear over the concluding stages with seemingly something in reserve. In fact, looking at the replay now, looking at the head-on, perhaps only 1 or 2 light flicks with the whip from Bowditch, and he's come away to score basically under his own steam. From Defence Force, Mayshield third. Well, he was in trouble early, the favourite, after he bombed the start. Missed the start probably 3 or 4 lengths at least, and that's about the margin. He's finished behind Mr Nelson. 3 ran fourth, and that was Bellarta.
Good win that, Mr Nelson, very easily. 380, 170 over Defence Force and Mayshield in the St Ledger. So 10, 7 and 1, race 5, Victoria Park. At Belmont, getting...
They're all in, set to go. Racing, and beginning slowly was Batwing. So too Rye Hero, and first away Shin Can See goes for the lead from Huge Jet. Quality Kingdom pressing on wide out. Quality Kingdom got about a neck in front of Shin Can See, then Huge Jet. On the inside, Barnacles of the stablemate Batwing. 2 lengths away a Glacier, and last over on the inside is Rye Hero. There's plenty of speed on as they go along the back to the 800. Shin Can See being pressured by Quality Kingdom. There's a neck between them. 3 lengths away Huge Jet on the outside of Barnacles, followed by Batwing, a Glacier, and last is Rye Hero. Racing to the 600 metre mark by it now, and Shin Can See a half in front of Quality Kingdom. Huge Jet 3 wide around Batwing, and Barnacle on the rails looking for the way clear. Then a Glacier starting to be stoked up, and Rye Hero held up for a run on the turn. 300 metres left to go. It's Shin Can See from Quality Kingdom. They've gone hard looking for the rails run Barnacles. Batwing tries to switch off heels. Huge Jet kept that horse in a pocket. A Glacier coming down the outside. Still Shin Can See. Quality Kingdom. Die trying to get Barnacles through. A Glacier's laying in but making ground. A Glacier raced to Shin Can See, went straight and dashed away, and a Glacier's clear over the final stages, won by a length. Rye Heroes come from last on the rail.